चिकन है, ऑनियन है, गार्लिक।
Good evening, all. So, guys, good evening. Is my voice audible?
Yes, audible.
And
Good evening, ma'am.
uh, thank you, thank you. And the slide is visible. You're able to see it.
Yes, it is visible.
Yes, thank you. So, yeah, let's start. Okay, so yeah, today's session is going to be about corporate etiquettes. So we know like what is etiquette like all about. So etiquette is the behavior, like how a person behaves in a social environment or in a professional environment, or how a person behaves while as a group, while in a group, or no, like while attending a meeting, or while having a like a dinner, or a business dinner, or a business breakfast. So it's how a person, especially a professional, how a professional behaves ethically, and as well as like professionally uh, in his or her professional life. So this can be either inculcated, or it can be given as a training to the the young professionals who joins the organization. And because nowadays most of the professionals lack this etiquette. They don't know how to behave in the organization. Once they get into the organization, they see it as their extension of their college days. It is or an extension of their internship days. So they don't understand, or no, they lack the understanding of how a corporate functions, or how a business functions, and how to know deal with their counterparts or colleagues, and how to properly communicate with their superiors, as well as with their subordinates or with the stakeholders. So there is a lack of etiquette. There is no the corporate behavior is no, there is a lack for nowadays we can see with young professionals. So uh reasons may be many. There may be many reasons why this behavior can be seen as a pattern in young professionals. The thing is the way of the learning which they get it from their school or from college. So that has become totally
109.
changed.
Okay,
It is
madam.
not the same
You
as
can break it room number
it
7.
was.
You pay the receipt, will call you. Okay. Last left side, ma'am.
Mr. Sanjeev, you can mute your audio. So they have a different learning experience in their school and college days, because the things taught in their schools and colleges is not the same which usually the learners get 20 or 15 years back. So those days was completely different. And the teacher student relationship that was completely different. The way the teachers treated students, and the way the students gave respected their teachers and saw their teachers as their role models. So that was a different scenario. But nowadays, you can't be so hard with your students. No, any teachers can't be so hard with the students. So things have changed. Maybe for that reason, nowadays young professionals don't take things so seriously, especially when they are entering into a business organization, when it is their first job, especially when it is their the first job. So they lack in those etiquettes. Okay, so let's see what is etiquette all about, and why is it so important for a professional to follow this etiquette in all the business processes, in all the business workflows, and well behaving with the in a group, as a member of a group, or as an individual, having a communication with their superiors and the subordinates. So let's see one by one. First, let's start with the the definition. Okay, here it goes. Okay, so etiquette is a code of behavior that delineates expectations for social behavior according to contemporary conventional norms within a society, social class, or group. Of course, it's little conventional. Etiquettes following etiquettes, no, like it's seen as conventional, and of course, it's no like little conventional. But it's not the same as it was, no, like before 20, 30 years back. Uh, Even in corporates and even in no like multinational companies or even in government sectors, things have changed. That is no like the way of no like following the etiquettes, no. So there has been more changes, no, like that has happened. For example, you can see, no, nowadays you can even address your superior, no, like you don't have to address them as sir or madam all the time. You can no address them with Mr. or Miss, no, with their names. So Mr. Kamal or no like Mr. Gupta. So or no like Miss Shweta. So you cannot directly address them with their names. You don't have to no follow sir, madam, no like everywhere, even when they are no like your superiors. So this is no like a change no which you can see in no like nowadays you can see in no like not only in corporates, especially no in all the any type of organizations you can see. Few exceptions are there, of course, no like educational institutions no like they don't follow this pattern because they still follow the conventional way of no like corporate behavior. Okay, so corporate etiquette is a set of unwritten rules. This is not a written rule actually. Like nobody know like writes how a person should behave. So or know how a person has to know like speak or so it's not a written rule in a corporate, but it's an unwritten rule that govern professional behavior in the workplace. It helps ensure smooth interactions and a positive work environment. Okay. So, what is the need? Why there is a need for an etiquette? So, all the the management has to worry about is the outcome of a person. There is no like what outcome the person comes up with. There is no what is the what is the output of a person. So they employ a person. They have an employee. So they provide the employee with all the resources and necessary training. They give the person no everything. They support the person in the initial days, and sometimes they provide the person no with roles and responsibilities as well as no like compensate very well. Okay, so all the person has to do with no show the result. Either it can be in profit or it can be no like improving the business or no like improving the quality of the product or service. It can be anything. The output can be anything. So all an employee has to show is only the output. That is the outcome. But why there is a need for an etiquette here? So that is not required, right? Especially if you see, the companies like top companies like Google. So there is no etiquette followed there. Etiquette in the sense, no, like not followed in the sense is not the way they dress. That is not like what they wear, no, like when they come to the company or no, while they are working inside the company, and they don't have to know like address anyone, no, like even if the CEO of the company, like passes by, you don't have to know, like wish them good morning or good afternoon. No, that is not required, especially in few companies, because no, so all the companies management they want is the outcome from a professional. But though no, like yeah, it is acceptable, but there is still a need for etiquette, especially when you're in a like when you're in a supervisory position or no, you're in a team leader position or you're no when you're no like leading a team, when you're coordinating with the team and there are subordinates no like under you. So what is the need? Etiquette makes a person a cultured individual who leaves a mark wherever the person goes, teaches the way to talk, walk, and most importantly, behave in the society. Not only in society, the organization as well. And it's essential for an everlasting first impression. The way a person interacts with superiors, parents, fellow workers, friends speak a lot about the person's personality and upbringing. And this enables the individuals to earn respect and appreciation in the society. No one would feel like talking to a person who does not know how to speak or behave in the society. Obviously, we have no like experienced, we have seen few persons, who may be, like exceptionally doing good in the organization, who will be holding a higher role or responsibility in the organization, but there would not be a proper, like etiquette. There will not be a proper behavior pattern, which you can see in them. So that person, like you don't get attracted towards that person, though that person is your superior or the person you're, reporting to. You don't see them as your role model. You don't know, that person doesn't influence you because no, there is no etiquette followed by the person. This etiquette inculcates a feeling of trust, loyalty in the individuals. One becomes more responsible and mature. So, etiquette helps individuals to value relationships. So, it builds a feel of trust and loyalty in the individual. So, just by the way of speaking, by having an eye contact or firmly shaking their hands, you can create a professional bond with your colleagues in the workplace. So why business etiquette? So to exhibit professionalism and develop a polished image and instill a perception of trustworthiness, we need business etiquettes. It seems that today the rule is to break all the rules. Yeah. So this happens in organizations because of these newcomers, that is freshly out of college or fresh interns who joins the organization. So sometimes they don't follow the rules. They are sometimes they look like immature people, but they do have the stuff. That is they do have the uh they know the skills. They possess the skills. They know how to complete a task on time. They have everything, but they lack in the behavior pattern. So that thing is you don't find in these new preppy people. Unfortunately, when it comes to how we treat one another, some people don't even know the rules. This can lead to challenges, upsets, miscommunication, and lack of fluidity in the interpersonal communication. That is, between peer to peer. Okay, so what do you mean by corporate etiquette? So it refers to set of rules an individual must follow while at work. So there is not a hard or fast rule, but no, it would be good if a person, an employee, follows this in his or her workplace. So what is the advantage of that? So obviously, there would be a kind of trustworthiness, building upon that person, so the management as well as the other colleagues can trust that person, and they can give some importance to that person, rely on that person who follows a basic etiquette. So employees must respect their organization, maintain the decorum. It refers to behaving sensibly and appropriately at workplace to create an everlasting impression. No one would take you seriously if you do not behave well at the workplace. So I have seen professionals who has a habit of cracking jokes in between the meeting in some unprofessionally manner, which is not at all related to the the main content. So they follow a pattern that to make the training place to make the place very easy, to make the trainers to make them very easy or let them take lightly. So they create crack jokes in between. So which is so unprofessional, and obviously it diverts from the main line. So the purpose of conducting a meeting or a training session, so is to know the goal is to achieve the outcome of the training or achieve the outcome of the the meeting. So for what purpose the meeting is conducted, but in between, because of this unprofessional behavior, no the main purpose of the meeting that gets diverted. So this thing it has to be controlled by a professional. No person can behave the same way at workplace as we behave at home. So the way we behave at home, that would be different. The way we behave with our parents would be different. Behave with our friends would be different, and behave with our relatives and that would be different. So you cannot mix up everything and have a behavior, a pattern of behavior in your workplace. So workplace behavior is something different, and the same, whatever you behave in your workplace, you cannot carry back to your home. So at home, no, you follow, you possess no a different role and no like responsibility. And at no office, you possess a different role and responsibility. You have to know how to know like act accordingly. One needs to be professional and organized. And it is important to behave well at the workplace to earn respect and appreciation. So, basics of business etiquettes. Mr. Syed Hussain, Mr. Syed Hussain, please mute your audio. Okay, thank you. So, basics of business etiquette. So, on what basics no there should be an etiquette followed. First is be on time, whatever it is. When you're no like going to the office in the morning or going to attend an official meeting, whether it's a no like in-person meeting or it's a virtual meeting, that doesn't matter. So be on time. While you're planning a meeting and you're going to conduct a meeting with your subordinates, you be on time. Or you're going to attend a meeting who is no like coordinated and no like no uh, carried by someone else, by any of your superior or by your training manager, so be on time. So whether you're attending an interview, start with your interview process or a stand-up meeting or whatever it is. So like respect everyone's schedule, because like time is more important not only for you but for everyone else. So if punctuality isn't something you prioritize in the past, brush up on some time management tips. Second one is recognizing your team. There is no like you should know how to recognize your team. There is no you should be knowing uh, who are your subordinates actually. There is no like what are their strengths and weaknesses, and no like in what ways they have helped no in the business process. And you have to know like mention them while no like in the organization wherever it is necessary. So while speaking about a project, you can know like mention their names and say, okay, this person has now contributed this thing in the project, and this person has contributed this thing, and it was this person's idea no like which has been no like considered, and no like we are following upon it. So in this way you have to recognize your team. So acknowledging others is proper business etiquette for both casual and formal work environments. When someone walks in the room at business dinner or morning, greet them and say hello and appropriately. Okay, this again, no, like wishing a good morning, no, in the mornings. Whenever you see a person for the first time for that day, it is not like on that particular day you're seeing a person known to you or unknown to you within the organization, you have to wish them a good morning. That's a kind of a etiquette, business etiquette, which you have to follow. So the same rule applies if you work from home and attend daily Zoom meetings or no whatever virtual meetings. You may not be required to get on camera in every business meeting, not necessarily, but speaking up and taking the time to recognize your team members can let everyone you're listening and makes other feels noticed. So third one is dress appropriately. So yes, few organizations, no, they don't give much in very few organizations, very few. Again, no, like I could say an example of Google, they don't follow no like any appropriate dress code. Dress code is applicable only for the top management and no for the senior level managers in Google. But other no like the employees of no like Google, they don't have to follow no like any dress code. No, like there is no dress code is being like followed there. So dressing appropriately is subjective and will depend on whether you work in an office or from home. So some companies they work in the office every day, and no like few work involves face time with stakeholders or clients. Okay, when dealing with the stakeholders, it is no like with the persons other than your co-employees. So it's no very important to have a follow a dress code, because no like they judge your company by judging you. So how they judge you is the way you dress. So you can't no like attend a business meeting with a stakeholder no or with a client no like in your pajamas or in your no like any other casual ways no like that's not appropriate way of no like conducting a business meeting. So especially while dealing with the stakeholders or with any person or a no like entity outside the organization, Even if dress code is not strictly followed in your organization, your management doesn't stress on that, no problem. But when you're dealing with the outsiders, who are related to your organization, that is in one or other way. So when you're going to address them, or when you're going to communicate with them virtually or in person, you have to have an appropriate dress code. Respect shared spaces. So even if you work remotely, you may go into the office on occasion or share virtual spaces with your team members. So it could be, like a kitchen, a pantry room, or like a washroom, or the printer section. There is a room or a place where printer is, kept, a copy room or a lounge area. So wherever it is. So this other than this virtual spaces, that includes like a Google Drive or some like ERP or no CRM application software, or wherever this is, so respect those shared places, uh don't leave any of the scrap over there, whatever, which is used by you. So don't leave the scrap here and there, even if it is a shared space, virtual workspace, virtual shared space. Delete all the unwanted files. So delete all the incomplete files or unwanted files. And when you are not uploading a file which is incomplete, and if you're planning to complete the content or the file after some time, you have to mark that file, mentioning your name, and this file has to be completed on a later on date. So that has to be mentioned. So it doesn't have to it shouldn't give any confusion to the other people who is accessing the same file. So they should be knowing who is the owner of this file, and what is the file all about. So don't leave any scrap, whether it's the actual space or a virtual space. So clear off all the scrap which is left over by you. And then build emotional intelligence. So what is an emotional intelligence? It's the ability to recognize, regulate, and understand emotions in yourself and in others. So effective emotional skills can help you empathize with team members and overcome challenges. With emotional intelligence, it's a direct rule in business etiquette. It will help you in the workplace no matter what conflicts arise. So you want to say something to your colleague, who is don't complete the work on time. So obviously what happens, there is a the add-on things, it happens to the project on a daily basis. So after some time it may seem like a big thing to do, that is not to be a bit bigger task to be completed when the end date is nearing for the project. So you can address that colleague, or your counterpart, and you can say them uh, understand their why they are not able to complete it. So first get to understand the reason for their the lack of not doing the work. And you can tell them we can support you, but try to complete your work on time. Because if that person is not, as a team you're working, and one person doesn't complete a task on time, so obviously that task would be falling on the other persons in the team. So obviously the pressure adds up, and at the end of the project, so that would not be it would be a bottleneck kind of situation. To avoid that, so if it is not spoken to that colleague on the very first basis, then there would be a friction in the workplace. So you couldn't speak with that colleague, or associate with that particular colleague for any reason after that. So to avoid all this, it's always good to uh, open up things with and deal the things with some emotional intelligence. Okay, so workplace attire and grooming. So we all very know how to go for a work, how to wear appropriate dress, and how to groom ourselves very neatly. So always follow a proper dress code. That would be a company dress code. If it is there, follow it. Or otherwise, there is no company, there is no such dress code which is followed. You know very well, according to the role what you have taken, which is being entrusted upon you, you know very well. So what would be the appropriate dress, you have to wear, and you have to go to the organization. So go with it. Avoid extreme attire or distracting accessories. No, like adding more accessories to your, no, like your formal wear. No, like that would be completely contrast and it doesn't look professional as well. So, no, like avoid all those things. Grooming. When it comes to grooming, I have seen, no, like again, I have seen this younger generation, no, like now they have, no, like different types of hairstyles, like, like the colored one, painted hairstyle, whatever they call it. And, no, like, they have this hippie hairstyle. And, I have seen, no, like people, like going to, no, like even for, no, going for interviews, they don't groom themselves. So they have this different hairstyles, no, hippie hairstyles, and, no, like, they just go to the interviews. So it would create, no, it would have an adverse, no, like an adverse thinking about you. People would have an no will have an adverse thinking about you. So they don't feel, no, you're no like a professional. They don't give it doesn't give a professional look. So grooming is, no, like very important, both for, no, like males and females. So keep the hair tidy and nails very much trimmed. Okay, when it comes to accessories, so while you're going for work, no, like we go for work, we don't wear much accessories. Maybe a maximum would be a watch, and, no, like for women it would be a, no, like an earring, and a, no, like a chain and a watch, or maximum, or a, no, like a finger ring, not more than that. But again, choose accessories that complement your outfit, not detract from it. So it completely depends on what you're wearing. That is not the casual dress or the formal dress, what you're wearing. So choose the accessories accordingly. Avoid excessive jewelry or loud perfumes. Yeah, even perfumes, no, like that matters, because, no, like high, no, like ordered perfumes, no, it distract people, no, like sometimes, no, like people who are allergic to this perfume smells, no, so they get headaches, immediate headaches, they get, no, like migraine. And they feel a sort of dizziness, no, like when they are, no, like standing next to a person who wears loud perfume. So avoid those, no, like loud perfumes, no, like always go, no, like go with mild perfumes if you are using perfume. Then how to know properly introduce, no, like yourself. So different companies, like all over the world, they follow different introduction patterns. Like for example, very conventional companies, like they don't go for handshakes. And, like Chinese, they have a different way of greeting. Japanese, Chinese, different way of greeting others, even if it is a professional workplace. And, like for example, no, Middle East, they have a different introduction pattern, wishing pattern, even in a professional workplace. And European countries, so that's different. American countries, no, like European countries, those are different. And like countries like India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and Sri Lanka. So these countries, no, like we have different way of, no, like greeting each other, or no, introducing to one another. But the basic introduction usually happens in work environment is a professional handshake. That is the most, like actually very much used introduction part there. So how to go with the handshake, if in case it is required, so whether it be a male or female. So whether you are not like giving a handshake to a male or a female, that doesn't matter. Whether you're a male, female, that doesn't matter. So how to go with a professional handshake? So firm grip, so it shouldn't be something like you're touching a fire. So it should be no, you shouldn't know like immediately reflex it. So it should be a firm handshake, a professional one with a firm handshake. And a card exchange, or no, like no, if you don't have a card, no, like if you're just introducing yourself, just no, like give your name, and no, like give the no the role you're no playing in the company. What is your designation? What is your role? So that is more than enough. And always no have an eye contact when you're communicating with other professionals. So this is much important, because you can't know like see anywhere somewhere, and you can know you can speak with the person. So to whichever person you're speaking to, always maintain an eye contact, so that no like they feel that you're no like completely oriented towards what they are saying. The first thing, and the second thing is no like you will not divert your mind anywhere at all. There's no like you can just see the eyes of the person and you can speak. Okay, so you will be keenly, listening to that person, like what they are speaking up to, and always have a professional smile, a warm smile. But it depends on the people, like somebody smile widely and somebody smile, like very little, and few people, even in professional environment, so few people, don't smile at all. They just gave a firm handshake, they introduce themselves, they exchange cards, but they don't smile at all. So it depends on the people's, the behavior pattern. So it's up to you, like how much ever you want to know, like expose yourself, smile, like you can go with. Okay. How to follow etiquette in communication while communicating. So that is the handshaking is the introduction part. That is your like handshaking one person, and and you're like introducing yourself, or you're welcoming them. So whatever it is, welcoming them to the business, or welcoming them to your office, or you just wishing them good morning, or you're just asking them, like, hello, how are you? So whatever the reason. Now, communication is something, where the actual communication is happening. Business communication is happening. So, how to follow an etiquette in here? Again, have eye contact. So, while there is a communication between you and like other person, so always maintain a eye contact. Then go for active listening. There is no like completely concentrate on what others are like speaking about. And no, because you cannot keep on like asking, like, sorry, I didn't get you. What is it about? Sorry, I didn't like understand. Or sorry, didn't I notice? Sorry, I didn't notice it. Like, so don't like keep on interrupting the communication thing. So completely concentrate what the person is speaking about. And the second one is respectful tone. When you're speaking back, however harsh the situation may be, however sensitive the talks or the situation may be, always go with a respectful tone, because it's a business communication. No, it's not a personal communication. So always go with a respectful tone. Use a polite language and avoid slang or jargon. So you don't have to like use any slang, because if you're affixing to one slang, you're like sticking onto a slang, you have to follow the same slang whenever you're speaking with that person. So it's better to avoid purposely using a slang. So casually you can communicate, or avoid any jargon words. Like don't use like a high vocabulary words. Make it very easy. The communication should be very simple. It should be easy, especially the other person should understand what you're speaking. And when they are like speaking, like stop interrupting. So once they have completed that sentence, you can interrupt. You can like say, sorry, I would like to ask one thing about that, what you have spoken just now. Sorry, can I ask a doubt on this? So in that way, you can interrupt. You don't have to wait till the full discourse, but after the completion of a sentence, you can interrupt. You can interrupt and ask whatever doubts you have. Then have a clarity and a conciseness. So what is the like a conciseness? Communicate your thoughts clearly and succinctly. Avoid rambling or unnecessary details. So when it is a business communication, speak about only the business. So don't like beat around the bush, or like don't get diverted from the main line. So speak whatever you're supposed to speak. Stick on to the points. It's always better to like take a note of the points, whatever like you're going to speak during the meeting, so that like you don't get diverted from the main points. So either you can memorize those points, whether it's like 5 or 6 points or maximum 10 points, memorize those points and stick on to them. You can even have like make a note of like for this point for how many minutes I have to speak, and for this point how many minutes I have to speak. Usually, public speakers do this. Public speakers who like publicly speak like to mass, to like to the public, they follow this pattern, because like they can't write everything and like in a bunch of papers, and they can't like see that and read for the whole no like speech. I mean, for the whole meeting, they cannot no speak by no seeing each and every line from the paper. So they have to remember few points, because that is what they are going to communicate. So what they do is they just know like note down the main points just as hints, and they would know like mark it as for this particular topic. So for how many minutes I should speak, and for this topic, what are all the vocabulary I have to mention so that I can speak on those words. So in this way, they will memorize and they will go for a public speak. So do this, no, you can practice this as well, no, even in your business meetings, business talks, so that no, the business talk no will not extend beyond a particular time. So you fix the business meeting, no business talk for half an hour. So the talk will end in maximum by half an hour. No, it will not no go beyond that unless and otherwise no. If the other person wants to talk more, want more clarity on your speech. Then finally, feedback. Provide constructive feedback or get constructive, no, get the feedback from the person whenever it is appropriate. One second. Okay, and be open to receiving feedback from the others as well. So feedback is very much important, as I said, as we have no like mentioned in our the other modules. Getting a feedback after communication is done is very much important, just to make sure the other person has understood what you have spoken. Okay, so workplace behavior and professionalism. The first one is punctuality. So, like be on time for everything. So, respect, in that way, you're respecting others' time as well. So, whether the meeting is getting started or not, whether it's delayed for some other reason, for technical reason, or for any other reason, that doesn't matter. But you be punctual, you maintain the time, you be on time for anything, for interview or for a meeting or for no any talks. Then teamwork, collaborate effectively with colleagues, share credit and acknowledge contribution. So whenever there is no a team success, share the success with your team members. It can be no because of one particular person no who has given no like more effort. But yes, no like you can recognize that person as well, and no like also you have to know as a team you have to share the success. Then conflict resolution. So handle disagreements professionally, use respectful communication to find solutions. And confidentiality. So why confidentiality has to be maintained, no, like in businesses is uh, because no, things may get no, it gets spreaded, no, the communication may go in a different way. So it may be misinterpreted, miscommunicated, no, like completely though the communication would go in a different way. So to avoid that confusion, so whichever things has to be, no, classified, which comes under classified section or no, like it has to be very confidential. So maintain that confidentiality. Even you don't have to know discuss this with your no, like your closest uh, colleague in your no, like team or in your no like in your professional workplace. So always maintain a confidentiality and avoid gossiping or sharing private matters. So why? Because no like even during the break times or after working hours, when you're having a habit of no like gossiping or sharing no like a few things about no private matters about you, about your family, or about whatever no your financial situation or whatever to any of your colleague or group of colleagues. So it will may have a negative impact because no they think that no uh, this person no it's not so trustworthy because no like whatever they speak they don't want to know like share with you anything because they feel that okay if something they share with you you will be no uh telling it to everyone, you'll be gossiping that with everyone, so they don't trust you anymore. So avoid gossiping and no like avoid sharing any personal or private matters in the workplace. And how to know follow an etiquette for virtual meetings and calls. There is no like online meetings and no like Google Meet, no like so how to follow them. So appearance first is no like even though it is a virtual meeting, dress appropriately. Even it's no virtual meeting, ensure a neat and tidy background. So try to know like maximum no stick on to it. And mute your microphone when not speaking to avoid background noise. Many people know like don't do this. So this would create like an unnecessary like background noise, and it completely disrupts the meeting at like the overall. So you may not be like the other persons may not be like listening to know what the speaker is speaking about. So it's always like a good, it's mandatory actually. Like should be a like a mandatory etiquette to be followed in the virtual meetings or any seminars or webinars or whatever. So always mute your microphone, and the instructor, that is not the person who is speaking, who is conducting the meeting, will be giving you a clarity on if you have a doubt how you have to know like raise your hands, whether you have to raise your hands, or you can unmute and interrupt, or you can know like send a message in the chat box. So whatever that instructor is like asking you to do, you can do accordingly. So if you want to know like interrupt the meeting, you want to ask something, you want to clear your doubt, so the instructor will know like give you an advice of how to do that. So you can know like do accordingly. Then technology. Test your technology beforehand. That is, ensure a stable internet connection and working audio and video is like good in your system. And attentiveness. Be present and engaged. Avoid multitasking or distractions during the call. And use non-verbal cues to show your listening. That is like most of the people like don't do this. Whenever like virtual meetings are happening, like they do multitasking. So they just switch on to the like the system. They will be like presently, physically present in a meeting, but mentally they will be like doing something, or even physically they'll be doing something else, like checking their mobiles, or like working on something else, and like they'll be like chatting with their friends, but they'll be still in the meeting. So don't do this. Don't do this multitasking, like whenever a meeting is happening, because that's a complete distraction, like you don't get what the meeting, the minutes of the meeting. You don't get to understand it. So it would not be fruitful at all. And use non-verbal cues. So how you will use non-verbal cues? Either you can nod your head, you have to know like switch on your video, you can nod your head, and know like you can say something, you can know just raise your hands like this, so that the speaker can know see you raising your hand. So in this way, by using these non-verbal cues, you can show that you're listening in the meeting. Okay, how about in-person meeting? That is not the virtual meeting, but the in-person meeting. So while you're going for a dining etiquette, there is no like you're in a meeting, and you're being supplied with like a beverages like tea or coffee and snacks when the meeting is happening, or you're specially invited for a like a dinner or for a meals, like especially when it is like between the professionals. So how do you like behave there? And okay, there you have to know like concentrate on the napkin usage. That is the paper napkins, like how you're placing your lap during the meal. So use it to dab your mouth, not to wipe your face. So and then no utensils etiquette. That is like use utensils in a formal manner from the outside in. Rest your fork on the top of the plate between the bites. So these are the few things you can follow. And no unwantedly like avoid any the clinking sound of the fork or the spoon with the ceramic plate. So many professionals I have like noticed it. So like lots of clinging will happen. Like try to avoid that more clinging. There would be clinging, obviously there would be like the sound effect will be coming when you're like using your spoon and fork to to take your bites from the ceramic plates, but try to minimize the clinging sound. And conversation, don't speak loud when you're like having your meal or having your breakfast or dinner, whenever, especially like in business meetings. So have a polite conversation, and never ever speak with the meal in your mouth. When the meal is in your mouth, don't speak at all. That is not necessary at all. So swallow your meal, swallow whatever is in your mouth, and then start speaking. Avoid sensitive topics and focus on business and professional interests. So don't focus on the other topics. The meal may be excellent, exceptionally good, or you maybe want to praise the chef, or you want to know how the meal is being prepared. So whatever may be the reason, don't go for other sensitive things. Focus on the business talks only. Even if your colleague is initiating some other talk other than the professional talk, other than the business talk, you can politely interrupt in between, and you can tune your colleague to the professional speech. So etiquette for networking and events. So there may be a lot of networking happening, and many events will be happening in business world. It can be a seminar or a webinar, or a get together in the business world, or it may be anything. It can be a meeting, or it can be like a soliciting meeting, or it can be a function, like a business function happening. It may be an awarding ceremony, so it can be anything. So how to know? Go with the etiquette there. So be prepared to introduce yourself and your business. Use a firm handshake and a eye contact. And exchange the cards if you have one, or just politely introduce yourself. And if required, you can share your professional email IDs, or share your professional profile. That is the online profile you have. You can be having your own website. You can be having your own site, which is which can be viewed by the other people when they get into the official website of the company. Or you can be having your LinkedIn profile. So LinkedIn is a completely professional profile. So if required, you can share that with your the person you're meeting in the business group. If you don't have a business card, you can do it. Do it only if it is necessary. Don't unwantedly, purposely go and share the information with everyone in the meeting. Avoid that, because it would not be nice. It would not be so professional, if you do that. Purposely going, wantedly going, and sharing your cards with everyone in the meeting, or giving your information, giving your the website address of your page, or your LinkedIn profile URL. Don't share it with anyone. Don't share it with everyone. Only if required, you do that. Conversation, listen attentively and ask thoughtful questions, so genuine interest in others. Sometimes when the an event is going on, there may be a chance for you to speak. They may ask you to speak, or you may want to speak something. You may want to ask something. So always go with the thoughtful questions. So don't try to um like uh, go on with some cracking the jokes, or in an unprofessional way. Don't try to deviate the main purpose of the meeting, and don't allow your subordinates to do that as well. Sometimes one of your subordinates, or a group of the subordinates, will be spoiling the whole meeting mood. So don't allow them to do it. You can warn them. You can say to them, this is a business meeting, don't do that. So be very professional. And then follow up. Send a thank you note or email after the event. Continue building relationships, especially if you're a business owner, or a business development executive. You have to follow this. Then email etiquette for communication. So many of the professionals, they lack this email etiquette. That is, they don't know how to professionally send and receive emails. So what are the etiquettes to be followed while sending and receiving the emails? So this we can quickly see. Okay. Always stick on to the subject line. Don't send any emails without the subject line. Please always address send the emails, whether it is sending to your superiors or subordinates, to any stakeholders. In the subject line, clearly mention what is the topic of the email, what is the purpose of sending the email. And it is even good for you as well. So whenever you're going to whenever you want to search a particular email which you have sent to a client, or to a customer, or to your colleague, long days before, you can just check for the subject line. Maybe the best way is to check for the email sent to a particular person email ID. In the search group, you can go, and search tab, you can go and give the name of the person, and you can get the emails. Okay, fine. But what about when you're constantly sending the emails to a particular person or a department? You frequently do that. for business purposes. So how you would trace a particular mail? So you don't remember the date, how you're going to trace it? So it's no like you can trace it with the subject line. So always no stick on to the subject line. Make it clear and concise. Don't write a whole paragraph in the subject line. Let it be no like very crisp and clear. Include keywords for easy identification. Then greeting. Use a professional salutation like dear or good morning or go directly with greetings. That would be no like when a professional way. And signature. Always know with any like whenever you're sending a professional email. So always know like include your signature. That is the your name, if required, digital signature, and know the title, it is a role you possess, and the company, the contact information, and social media links, even if you're sending a professional mail to your colleague within the official group. Even if you're sending a mail, it is considered as a professional mail. This is for a business purpose. So always know have the signature at the end of the mail. And whenever there is a change in your contact information, you have your profile URL has to be changed, or you have changed your contact number, your professional contact number, or you have no like your role has changed, be sure you're updating that in your signature. So always do that. Okay, so other than that, we have no like few more proofread. That is no, you have to proofread your email. So once you have typed the email and you have to know like before sending it, always go for a proofreading. Let's check whether no like all the information has been you have no like provided. So in your emails, it's a hard rule of thumb you shouldn't ignore while your email or project management platform. It may be having a built-in proofreading, like the app or a technology. So now you have no like proofreading, uh, apps are no like available in no like systems. So you can download it. Apps are available. You can just go for a proofreading. But even though you have to personally proofread your email before sending it to everyone to make sure everything you have mentioned, because the app doesn't read your mind. It doesn't read your mind. So only know like what you have to communicate. It only reads whatever you have entered, whatever you have given as an input. It can read only that part. It can't read your mind. So whatever is in your mind, only you will be able to communicate. So always proofread. Then be polite and professional to whomever you're sending the mail. Even though you're not speaking face to face with your email recipient, tone of voice will come through in your words. So whatever you want to actually speak, no, that would be no like mentioned as words, no, in your email. So it's important to be polite and professional in your copy. For example, you can use I hope you understood, or I hope no like you have got all the points, or I hope you will be replying back to this email, no, like at the earliest. So no like finish off, no, like get the conclusion part no very correctly. And thanks for no like taking time to know like reading my email. So whatever the reason is, and give a reminder as well. No, like if you want to remind that person, no, or remind that department about something, so give a friendly reminder or just a reminder. Please let me know. Looking forward to hearing from you ASAP or no, like at the earliest. So whatever, no, at the conclusion should be no in a very no like professional manner. So always no conclude your email in a professional way, and then you have to finish it off. Don't finish it off abruptly. So don't know like type in all the no like the thing what you have to communicate. Then no like finally go with no like sincerely or regards. No, give your no signature and send it. Don't do that. Whatever whichever professional mail you're sending, always have a good conclusion, a professional conclusion in the ending, and then you have to send it. Why? Because it initiates the person, whoever is the receiver of the mail. It induces the person to reply back to you, no, with some responsibility. They will have a responsibility, no, gain a response. There is no, they will feel a responsibility of replying back to your email. So always go with a good finishing line. So respond in a timely manner. So whether no, you're receiving the email from no, your colleagues or from some other department in your office, or from your customers, or from your clients, or from any of your stakeholders, so respond to that email in a timely manner. If you think it would take some time to respond to that email because you haven't got the enough resources, or you haven't got the enough answers or solution to the problem which has been discussed in the email, which has been asked by the sender. So in that case, you can just send them. So let me check and inform you at the earliest. At least this kind of reply or intimation you have to give back to the sender. So always have keep in touch with the sender when it is a professional email. So, or a professional WhatsApp message, email, whatever the thing is. When it is some sort of non-verbal communication professionally, the written communication, when it is a professional written communication, always have keep in contact with the sender of the message, because it means you're respecting that person. If you're not sending, you're not responding to the email, you will be thinking that, okay, let me respond after some time. Let me get all the information whichever that person has asked, then I will respond, after some time, or respond later. You may be committed towards your work, but that person will think, so there's no response to my email. I don't know whether this person has seen the email, or whether the person has really wishing to solve my issues and everything. So always treat the sender with respect. So respond to that email. Just say received your mail, noted all the points. So it would take this many days, or this would take some time for me to refer the resources or get your answers. So I'll be keeping in touch with you. I'll get back to you at the earliest. Something, some kind of thing response, you have to give it back. And finally, keep it brief. So keeping your email copy brief. Don't give a story, a big story in your email. Okay, so sometimes there may be scenarios you have to give a lot of explanation for number of things. In that case, what you can do is, so for each and every point what the sender has asked the explanation for, you can brief it in maximum 2-3 lines. Mention all the points whatever the sender has asked, and brief it in 2-3 lines sentences, and you can send the mail. So don't give stories for each and every point, because it's not necessary. Usually that don't happen in the business. You don't have to mention the whole story. So usually you can say why it has happened. So what are the consequences? So how you're going to rectify it, and what are the measures taken, and for that whom you're going to contact, whom you're going to get support with, and how it can be resolved, and at which earliest date you can resolve the issue, or get the maximum information and get back to that person. So keep it very brief. When you hide the main objective of your message within a lengthy mail, this is the most important point. Your reader may be less likely to respond in the way you hope for. Because you may be having the solution to the problem, but it would be there somewhere in your story, the big story what you have written in your mail. The sender may not be having no enough time or no patience to read the whole story. All that person wants is the solution, or the answer, or the explanation. So go for the point. Don't give the whole story. So with this, we will stop here. The remaining session we will have in our next week session. Okay. So if you have any doubts, you can stay back for 2 minutes. Time's up. Yeah. Or otherwise, you can leave the session. We will meet next week.